What is going on, everybody? I am Sam, and today we're going to be discussing reasons why Gareth Southgate is not the man for the job. I can't even speak today. Now, I am feeling really ill today, as you can probably tell by my voice. I'm probably going to lose it during the video, for which I apologise. But if you need a reason to subscribe, this should be it. Come on, show me some support. I'm bringing you guys content when I should be in bed resting. So hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. Show some support and I will love you forever. I'm probably going to be rambling on and I don't want this turning into TalkSport, but I'm not a fan of Gareth Southgate. Now, a lot of people are going to be calling me biased because I'm a Villa fan, and they're going to be like, oh, you really don't like Gareth because he didn't include Jack in his starting lineup, but that is not the only reason. Obviously, that is one of the reasons, but not because it's Jack Grealish. He doesn't automatically earn a right to start for the game, but I personally believe that at half-time, we were clearly not creating any chances. Most of the midfield were sitting deep. We were barely bringing the ball forward. The wingers were doing most of the work, and the midfielders weren't really driving the ball forward. They were just passing, and a lot of the time they were passing to the side or passing back and just hoping to hoof it up to a winger who will do the work. And that is when we should have changed it. I personally think that come the 60th minute, Jack Grealish should have been in the midfield. If you're going to replace Phil Foden with anybody, it should have been Jack Grealish, not Danny Ings. Now, it's not that I don't rate Ings. He did a brilliant job last season. I think he scored in the 20s. But I just think that if you're going to replace a midfielder, you should replace him with a creative midfielder and not a striker and having two up top. Now, if you're going to replace Phil Foden, you should have replaced him with Jack Grealish, who would have created chances. He would have driven the ball forward, opening up space for the wingers, and he would have drawn fouls because everyone likes to tackle him and foul him. And that would have got us set pieces, which we can do, especially when Trent came on. He would have been bossing the set pieces. But Trippier as well, he's a specialist for free kicks currently in the England squad. I just think that we're not going to move forward with Gareth Southgate. So let's be honest, he's not changed anything since 2016. We could have easily lost that game. It's only because Iceland were below par that we didn't lose. And we were lucky to get away with a win, to be honest. We should have had a draw at the very end. Berker Bjarnason, former Villa man, he should have scored that. He should have buried that goal and it would have equalised. But we got lucky. You know, the penalty which we got, I don't even think it was a penalty. If anything, we should have drawn 0-0 anyway. So we got very lucky to win, and I bet you Gareth Southgate's going to think that he did a brilliant job to win from 10 men. But honestly, it was an appalling match because we weren't creating anything. I'm just thinking in that match, we should have had a creative midfielder like Jack Grealish come onto the pitch, drive the ball forward, which opened space for the wings, for the other midfielders. He would have either drawn a foul and got us a set piece, which Kieran Trippier would have hit into the box, or Trent, when he came on, would have ripped that in. You know, they're both brilliant at free kicks. And it would have just changed the game. It would have made it more exciting. We wouldn't have sat through 90 minutes of dullness, let's be honest. That's what it was. Now, I was checking Twitter earlier, and a lot of Gareth Southgate fans were saying, well, he got us to a semi-final. Why don't we give him a chance? Anyone could have got us to a semi-final in the World Cup. We had the easiest fixtures, let's be honest. Colombia, we should have beaten them before we even got to penalties. We should not have gotten to penalties in a Colombia match. And, you know, we should have beaten Croatia. I'm not even going to put the blame on Harry Kane for the match against Croatia because, let's be honest, if you're a striker, you're going to try and take him on, especially anyone of Harry Kane's calibre. You're going to think you're going to bury it, so you're going to try it, you know. And we've seen Sterling last season for Man City. He would have probably hit it over anyway. So even though Sterling was the better opportunity and we could have probably won that had Kane passed the ball, it's not even that one chance. We shouldn't be relying on one chance. We should have been creating more chances. Did we manage that? No, we took it to extra time where Croatia got lucky and won the game. Any other manager, my dog, would have got us to that final. Everyone's saying it got us to a semi-final. Sure, anyone would have got us to the semi-final. He just holds grudges, and this is going to turn into a Jack Grealish bias thing, you know. I love Jack Grealish. I'm a huge Aston Villa fan, so naturally I love Jack Grealish. I think he's brilliant on the ball. Is he worthy to start the game? Probably not. He needs to earn that opportunity. But I would have definitely put him in for 15 minutes. I personally think Gareth Southgate holds a grudge against Jack, and I don't know the history, but I know Gareth was Jack's manager back when he was in the under-21s, I believe it is. And I'm not sure what happened there, but clearly something happened for Gareth not to like Jack, because he created the second most chances in the Premier League behind De Bruyne. If he can create the second most chances, more than Trent behind Kevin De Bruyne in the Aston Villa squad we had last season, which we barely survived relegation, I personally believe that deserves at least 10 minutes in an England game against Iceland, especially when it was as dull as it is. But no, Gareth has to hold a personal grudge against Jack. Will he play on Tuesday? I highly doubt it, because again, he holds a personal grudge and I just don't know what it is. Now, you may be wondering who I'd replace Gareth with, and in all honesty, there were quite a few managers who would do a good job. Eddie Howe, the recently left Bournemouth when he got relegated, he would do a brilliant job in my opinion. Arsene Wenger, he's out of a job, he would love a job, so I'm sure he'd happily accept an England offer. He would take us miles ahead of where we are at the minute. And there was just so many managers who could do a better job than Gareth. He kept contradicting himself. So last season he said Jack couldn't get into the squad because he was in the Championship. This season Calvin Phillips got into the squad when he was in the Championship last season. He's not kicked the ball in the Premier League yet. Yet he got the role in England squad, but Jack couldn't, last season because he was in the Championship and he hadn't played Premier League football in years. Everyone's saying, yeah, but they play different positions, which is absolutely correct. They do play different positions. And sure, they might be short in CDM, but if you're going to go with one rule for Jack, you should be the same rule for everyone. He's just contradicting yourself. And if you can't trust your own manager to go by his word, then how could you trust him in general? If you can't trust the manager, then that's it. You've lost the dressing room. Nearly lost my Pepsi Max. I saw a throat, man. I'm so ill. Honestly, I've been ill for the last couple of days and, a sore throat, everything. This is the grind. I am really ill and I'm creating videos for you guys. I suggest you hit the subscribe button just for sympathy. This is my, on the X Factor, every single contestant has a sob story to get through to the next round. This is my sob story to get your subscription. I am ill and I'm grinding out the videos. So if you had any reason to subscribe, this is the reason. If you could hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button as well, leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate it, guys. But until the next video, have a great week.